This is Robert Merdlacci, the Mindshare Learning Report, Canada's learning and technology e-magazine. And welcome to this week in Canadian EdTech special edition. I'm honored to have join me for Mindshare Learning Moment, Diana Dajani, who is the founder of EduTechnos, one of the companies that was selected uh, in the top three. She finished second in Canada's EdTech Startup Challenge at the recent Canadian EdTech Leadership Summit that happened a couple of weeks back. Dana, thank you for joining me.
Thank you
Uh,
for having me.
and congratulations. I am going to say a little bit about Diana. She's a results oriented executive with a proven success in increasing revenue and efficiency, a progressive thinker who approaches tasks systematically and logically, able to learn and adapt quickly, an effective networker and motivational leader who inspires excellence. A Canadian citizen who grew up in the Gulf region and is fluent in both English and Arabic. And she has a few accolades that I will mention to her name. She received the recognition from the Kuwait Information Technology Forum on innovation in Arabic EdTech and is listed in the Global Index top 50 makers and shakers in EdTech in 2016. And thank you again for joining me on this no doubt busy day, Diana.
Yes, thank you for having me again, Robert. This is amazing.
My pleasure, and congratulations to you on participating in our summit. Many of the past participants have gone on to achieve greater heights who have been part of our startup challenge. So kudos to you for that. How did you
Thank
enjoy the
you.
summit?
Actually, I really enjoyed the experience that actually was shared, and especially the COVID aspect of it, how COVID affected education, and how we're actually everyone in education now trying to future proof how we do
Right,
it. And what attracted me the most, and what I figure, or what I, at least this is my opinion, the networking event, like that, the platform, that virtual experience,
right.
to me was actually even more efficient than being there in person, because I can see who's where and I can find them and talk with
Right.
them.
We got a few comments on that. And
Yeah.
it was very much an experiment.
Yeah.
With the design thinking behind it, we replicated virtually our co working innovation center here in Mississauga. And we wanted to, because of the positive feedback we get about how welcoming it is, we wanted to take the remote platform to a whole new level. So it was a collaboration between Hong Kong, Toronto, and in the Netherlands to achieve what we
Oh,
did.
wow.
And the experiment was, based on your feedback and others, quite a success. So it was quite
Absolutely.
humbling to host you, and it was so wonderful to learn about your startup. So let's talk about EduTechnos and the inspiration behind it.
Well, Robert, Edutechnos started because my son, actually, when he was young, like 3 years old, he hated Arabic. And for me, this is part of our culture and identity. So I used my computer engineering training at University of Toronto and created games for him. But then slowly things started to grow, and my friends started to ask for it. School started to ask for these games. And so I was like, okay, there's an opportunity. And I utilized my MBA and the philosophy education courses that I also took at University of Toronto.
Amazing.
And here we are today. Here we are.
Well, and so it's been a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. You
Yeah.
you had a vision of what you were hoping to achieve, and you did that. You did just that.
Actually, I can tell you with confidence, this achieving the ultimate, and I don't want to say ideal, but the solution to the core problem has been tested and proven in the past couple of years. Even it surpassed the challenges of COVID, and it worked as effectively.
Brilliant. And talk to us about your solution, and what is your roadmap for how did COVID impact your vision for the future and your product roadmap?
All right. So when we talk about the solution, I have to mention the challenges, because we're tackling Arabic literacy education. And I'm a computer engineer, so I had to study what's going on there, and I had to carry on experiments, and so that I understand where's the problem. That the biggest challenge was figuring out where's the problem. And it can, like, at the end, it was narrowed down to three verticals. The first one, there's a lack of digital resources that actually support the curriculum that the teachers are teaching. The second one is there are still schools who still adopt traditional pedagogies for like teaching Arabic. And the last and the most important one is curriculums ignore the fact that Arabic vowels can be on top or under the letters. So students end up having to memorize about 2,000 symbols of permutations of
Wow.
letters, vowels, and the forms of
Wow.
the letters. So you can see it becomes really difficult, but Arabic is phonetic. It shouldn't be that difficult.
Hmm.
So what we did, and this has been throughout the year, it has been a journey as we talked about. It wasn't like, oh, here's the solution, came out of a
Right.
box. So we basically started with creating the curriculum-based digital games and resources to support the teacher. Initially, it was to support my son education, then became for teachers and other children. And then uh, throughout that journey, we realized that Arabic teachers did not have enough training in how to use technology, the ed tech tools itself. So we had to
Right.
help them with that. And we added also the gamification teaching pedagogy, where we had to
Fascinating.
retrain them through synchronized and asynchronous courses. And lastly, and this is also corresponding to the curriculum, and this is the biggest thing. It's been like over 10 years in the making and in R&D, which is a simplified curriculum that introduces vertical blending of phonics. And we are actually deploying this right now in a tutoring center, in our tutoring center, in person and virtual. So this is
Congratulations.
thank you. So this is in a nutshell, summarizing the
Fascinating
whole thing.
times. And it typically begins as a passion project, right? When I launched the workspace, it was, it was a problem solving exercise that became a passion project where we had our ed tech
Yeah.
company at York University. We were grateful to be there for 5 years. Then they needed the space back. And then it was, okay, where do I situate? You know, and I would have never imagined I would be in a shopping mall in Mississauga. However, I'm 2 minutes from my home if I catch all the green lights. So sometimes when you have a vision of where you're going or think it becomes a hunch, right? You develop your strategy, you have a vision, and then sometimes you make a little detour, as I did, when this opportunity arose. So that the agility of an entrepreneur and listening skills
Yeah.
are really vital, aren't they? Because I wasn't a pedagogue, and you're you're an engineer, computer engineer. I've got a sports background, I've got a technical background, but I wasn't a pedagogue either. How important are listening skills, and in what you found? And I'm going to lose my power if I don't plug in. So hang on a sec. Carry on with your yeah, your answer. I'll be
Yeah,
right.
absolutely. The listening skills actually, it's not just as for education and ed tech. It's as an entrepreneur for sales, for anything. For me, sales is not convincing somebody to buy something. It's actually solving a problem. So I need to understand what problems they're having and to see if we have the solution for them. Because if we do, then it's a match made in heaven. Otherwise, it's going to be an agony for everyone involved. So listening is extremely important. And I remember one of the, like when I first started before launching officially Idiotechnos, I did like a survey about with parents, and this is when I was living in Qatar, and I was like disappointed when I saw that the survey saying that parents are not willing to pay for a subscription for Arabic.
Wow.
But I listened deeper and I went back to them. Why not? And they said because the government would give it to us. And the
Oh, so then you
strategy
went through the
changed.
government.
Exactly. So the strategy changed.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Mhm.
And speaking of listening and speaking, you are going to be traveling
Yes.
to the Middle East. You've been invited to present at a couple of conferences. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Actually, I got invited to talk in WISE, from my understanding, in two panels, one discussing the Arabic language and the other one about EdTech. And I'm very excited, honestly, Robert, over there, because I was part of WISE Accelerator
Oh,
back
that's
then, yes.
right.
And
I
I'm
did read about
very,
that.
yeah, and I'm very
How cool
excited
is
to
that?
meet everyone again. Oh my God, it's like you're in a neighborhood and you're meeting everyone again. And it's like, for me, it's like I'm in a wedding, meeting family members over there. So to me,
Nice.
that's what I'm really excited about. And always, whenever I meet like-minded people who, as you said, carry on passion projects, amazing collaboration pops, and innovation gets born when collaboration is done right, at least this is
Absolutely.
what I think. So I'm excited to see what kind of innovations we'll end up having, and I'll report
Well,
back to you when I'm back.
excellent. And we look forward to hosting you here at the workspace. So part of your winnings involves 2 months of being in our incubator here and having time with me as a tech expert to help you envision your roadmap beyond, where you are, and hopefully take you to new heights.
I'm looking forward to that, you bet.
Well, thank you so much, Diana.
Thank you, Robert.
That was Diana Al-Dajani, founder of Techno
Edutechnos.
EduTechnos. And my name is Robert Merlacha, the Mindshare Learning Report. Be sure to check out Mindshare Learning to get your latest issue. And until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep the learning curve